Greetings, you are listening to The Heartful Technologist. I am CK Hicks. How clean are your headphones? I don't mean to start with such a personal question, but seriously, the ones you're using right now, the ones you have on your head that are in your bag, that are sitting on your desk, how clean are they? And if you were to ask me this question at some point, I think I would have a variety of answers. There are days when I definitely shove them into a pocket, because I'm going into the store, or I come home and I need to go to a meeting and then something right after that. And so they just go right back into their case. And then there are other times when I go, oh, okay, I need to really make sure these are clean, and you wipe them off and you do all this stuff. And hopefully this isn't triggering anyone. But the question, I think, goes beyond just what do you do in these kind of invisible places where no one else really knows except for you, unless you're loaning your headphones out all the time. No one else really knows how these things are cared for, right? And I think it even goes beyond that, though, into just the simple things and the little diligences and the ways that we take care of things that are largely invisible. I think as technologists, and especially people who, I don't know if you're someone who builds or someone who tests or someone who plans, or maybe you are on the sales side of things and you're working at abstracted away from the minute details of what the product actually is, or the service that you provide, or whatever it might be. Maybe you're someone who just does analysis and you're not even connected directly to one physical output of someone's work, right? But wherever we are as technologists, when we look at the things that could be constructed from tiny little pieces, and we question those small pieces, and we wonder and worry about, and I say worry in a positive sense, like we are positively concerned by the quality and the accuracy of those small pieces, because they all add up to the larger whole. So something like your headphones, that are this just very small piece of your life that you use ubiquitously across work and personal tasks, and you rely on them. They're like a utility, and yet at the same time, they're a source of enjoyment, and they unlock different abilities for you to do things in different contexts. Those are something to take care of. And it's something that we can do as a simple way, a simple diligence, to show that we are the type of person who actually pays attention to these small details. And I think that, again, I would never ask this of someone just sitting down for coffee, like, hey, pull out your headphones and let's see how clean they are, right? I wouldn't want someone to do that to me. But I do think it's worth investing some thought into just how do we, even just looking around yourself right now, how do we treat the small invisible things that we use every day that other people wouldn't know that we took care of or didn't take care of unless we were to share that with someone. And I think that it does play into a larger sense of just how we handle small details and how we treat things that are in our lives that no one else would have to know. And yet we would still choose to do a good job or to be diligent in a small way. I think this also ladders up a little bit to how do we take care of our creative processes? How do we approach a new task at work, or how do we approach keeping our space clear, or how do we manage the chaos of an unclean space if that's part of your process? I'm certainly that way sometimes. How do we handle these things that are largely invisible, but can give us the kind of creative confidence and professional confidence to do our best work, to bring ourselves to whatever it is that we're doing? And I think those small diligences do add up over time. So part of what I'm trying to do, even just through these simple little recordings before I have interviews, before I have other people on, is just sitting down and forcing myself to do the simple diligence, and just to maintain these, to stay on track, to stay on some kind of cadence or pace, and add up to a larger collection of those small things as the output of what I'm doing. And I think that those small details can project a lot more to the world around us than we realize, but they also reinforce for us personally the need and the desire to keep doing them. And when it comes to something like professionalism or cleanliness or just a creative diligence, having a discipline and a practice, that can be the difference between being motivated to get up and do something because you're the type of person who takes care and does those things, or someone who says, well, I didn't do this before, or last time I did it, I didn't do it, with everything that I had. And so I don't know that I need to do that today. And so it slides and slips. And I've certainly been on that trail as well. So this, again, is not meant to be an indictment of how clean your headphones are, but it does, I think, start an interesting conversation. And I would love to hear your feedback. If this was like, CK, you're getting too personal, you need to back out a little bit, then I would love to hear that as well. My email address is podcasts@ckhicks.com. I would love to hear your thoughts, and even just other areas that you think small diligences can add up to over time. But in the meantime, I want to thank you for your time and your attention, and I'll talk to you soon.